Look, that thing that you like doing, I'm not gonna judge you for it. At least you're not eating couch cushion stuffing.
The big bad wolf. The big bad wolf.
Listen, everybody has something that they like to do as a pastime. And some people like to get a little freaky dicky, while others like to maybe dress up as a furry. Some people like to take their pet rock for a walk, while others like baking treats while dressed up as a lizard. No? Just me, huh? But I assure you, if you think those things are weird, the following hobbies that people really have are going to make a lizard man baking cupcakes look normal. Here are 10 insane hobbies people actually have. Number 1 is dyeing animals. There's an alarming number of people out there who have a desire to dye animals. Now it's common for people to groom their pets, cutting their hair often into strange patterns. But these people take those things to the extreme and wind up making their puppy dog look like a cross between Big Bird and Elmo. There are dyeing designs that have the entire main cast from the animated movie Madagascar, as well as a Yoda design with an Ewok's face on the rear end, which makes your dog look like a sentient pile of stuffed animals. Some people even dye their pets as completely different animals, such as tigers, deer, or even pandas. The hobby began in China decades ago, but the fad only took off around 1999. There are even competitions all around the world that exist right now that judge creativity and colorfulness of people's pets. Please stop encouraging these people. Seriously, your poor bird Yoda dog can't speak for himself. Number 2 are eating things that aren't food. Okay, this hobby is so dangerous, many people believe that it must be an addiction, as no sane person should be excited about needing to do it at all. Now, while there is a medical condition called pica that makes people crave non-foods, believe it or not, there are people who eat ridiculous crap just for the fun of it. There are people that are still alive today, believe it or not, that are eating things like rocks, tape, nail polish, detergent, plastic, deodorant, couch cushion filling, and even human ashes. Anybody who actively embraces this lifestyle should absolutely consider a different hobby. More than a few people have been hospitalized with serious health issues and lost their lives after eating inedible objects. I imagine that for those people, going number 2 in the bathroom must be extremely unpleasant. What is that, a G.I. Joe figure? Ooh, that's a nice surprise. Number 3 is yarn bombing. And now for a hobby that makes it look like a gang of grandmas just marked their territory. Yarn bombing is a form of street art which some consider to be graffiti that basically involves making cozies for random and often very large objects such as fire hydrants, bicycles, cars, and even custom pothole fillings in roads. Some yarn bombing artists have gone further and undertaken some serious knitting projects for things like entire buses, statues, bike racks, public transit seating, and small buildings. Using colorful yarns and wools, yarn bombers cover anything that they can think of with knitted coverings without permanently damaging or marking the items covered. One of them is considered to be the oldest street artist on Earth, which is Grace Brett at 104 years old. This self-proclaimed yarn stormer from Scotland goes out with her fellow scouter stormers and always seems to be adding color to her hometown. This is charming, although still technically kind of illegal, but I can get behind it. You go, Granny. Number 4 is background guy. Hey, just because your acting career didn't take off the way you wanted it to, doesn't mean you still can't get on TV. Take Paul Yarrow from London, whose hobby gives him plenty of airtime. Since November of 2009, Paul has appeared on a number of broadcasts, some of which live and some recorded, but he almost never speaks. He's known as the background guy, basically someone who learns where news is about to take place and then goes there in order to stand behind the person reporting it. Yarrow has appeared in countless news reports across many well-known British and international networks such as BBC, Channel 4, Sky, and Al Jazeera. He's even made an appearance on Antiques Roadshow. For many reporters, having someone distract you from doing your job can be infuriating, but to Yarrow's credit, he stands there quietly minding his own business and once in a while just kind of nods. For many people who watch the news during the height of his appearances, seeing Yarrow stroll into frame wearing his trademark beige sweater would often become the highlight of the report. Someone needs a new hobby. Oh, man, I got a cold. Number 5 is bug fighting. If training your pet rooster or dog is too boring and you're craving the thrill of a good fight to bet on, then this hobby is most certainly for you. Bug fighting has been going on for literally centuries and involves training beetles and other larger bugs to battle it out in their own much smaller version of the Ultimate Fighter Octagon. Imagine them like Pokemon, but much more real. In Thailand, the best bug for fighting is the Kwang Song rhinoceros beetle, who will rarely back down from a fight, especially if a female of the species is nearby. No, seriously, that's a tactic that's often used by bug owners to spur them on during a championship. Matches go until one of the insects is knocked out of the arena, or more often, until one of the bugs kills the other. And bug fighting is even prevalent on YouTube, with many videos and channels dedicated to showing off feature fights. These include praying mantises, spiders, giant wasps, scorpions, and more, all for entertainment? I guess this is disturbing. Number 6 is extreme ironing. God, don't you just hate it when all your friends are going to that adrenaline-filled extreme sport, but you have to stay home and get the wrinkles out of your shirt? Man, that's tough. Well, my friend, it's time to add a new hobby to your life. And that hobby is called extreme ironing. This high-octane sport involves doing extreme actions while literally ironing. Imagine getting wrinkles out of your t-shirt while clinging to the side of a mountain that you just climbed halfway up. Extreme ironing is alleged to have been started by a Leicestershire, England man named Phil Shaw, who got the genius idea to combine ironing chores with rock climbing back in 1997. And it blew up because today there's even an extreme ironing world championship. So get out there and risk your life while trying to get that crease out of your trousers. These are weird. Number 7 is suing people. You know, some people collect bottle caps, some people visit a new place every day, and some people sue every person, place, and inanimate object that they can think of. At least that's the case with 39-year-old Jonathan Lee Riches, who's an ex-convict who served prison time for wire fraud and who holds the unofficial record for the most lawsuits ever filed by one person. Riches sues everyone from NFL coaches to statues and monuments to food that you might have in your fridge right now. Some of his lawsuits have been completely nonsensical and targeted things and people who have no ability to defend themselves in court. Your Honor, that piece of toast owes me $5,000. It's too dry. Some of these suits included, and I'm not exaggerating, Nostradamus, Che Guevara, Pluto, yeah, the planet Pluto, every survivor of the Holocaust, the book Mein Kampf by Adolf Hitler, the Holy Grail, various Nordic gods, and the Roman Empire. Riches has filed 2,600 lawsuits since January 8th, 2006, all of which have been dismissed. Number 8 is killing dinner. Though many of us are content with going out and buying foods from restaurants, grocery stores, or even snack machines, many others get their foods from a much more, personal source. More and more people seem to be developing the same hobby, changing their eating habits to only consuming things that they harvest or kill with their own bare hands. Even Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg takes part in this lifestyle, his first ever kill being a lobster, then moving on to chickens, pigs, and even goats. Now, this can actually be a very beneficial practice to those who want to take it seriously, since you get an intimate knowledge of how your food is being handled. People who enjoy this hobby tend to turn into farmers pretty quick, and usually attempt to take their prey's lives in the least cruel way possible. So that's good, I guess. Creepy, but good. Number 9 is knitting wool breasts. While knitting and crocheting aren't ridiculous hobbies to have, what a certain 84-year-old Sussex woman makes with her work definitely hits that mark. Audrey Horncastle knits, of all things, fuzzy breasts. Oh yeah, you heard me correctly. She's made over 100 of them and gives each of them to her daughter, Rona. In turn, Rona, a community nurse, gives them out to expectant mothers to help them learn the proper way to breastfeed. Though she's only paid enough money to cover the costs of materials to make the knitted bosoms, Audrey is quite happy keeping her knitting job as her personal hobby, even offering new mothers their choice in color scheme and welcoming any new boob-making challenge. Additionally, a charity organization called Knitted Knockers, which is the best name ever, accepts donations of knitted breast prosthetics that are given away to female breast cancer survivors who may have undergone mastectomy operations. So if you enjoy knitting, try knitting a pair of boobs. It's for a good cause. And number 10 is playing dead. You know, when a dog does it, it's super cute, but when a human does it, no. No. Playing dead is actually a hobby that 58-year-old Chuck Lamb has been doing for over 11 years. Back in 2005, Chuck, a father of 6 from Ohio, walked away from his full-time job as an IT engineer in order to indulge his hobby of arranging himself in positions that make people truly afraid that they've stumbled across his dead corpse. Called the Dead Body Guy, Chuck has appeared in movies and TV shows and now makes up to $1,500 a day doing this. Before he made his fake death a career, he was first inspired by watching actors play dead on shows like Law and Order and even dreamed of playing one himself. Besides being an inspiration to many actors out there who have little to no acting range, Chuck is a living example that you should really follow your dreams and do whatever makes you happy, even if those dreams are pretty ridiculous. So those were 10 insane hobbies people actually have. What other things do you guys know that people do as a hobby that are just disturbing? It could be yourself. Don't be shy. Leave a comment. Nobody judges on YouTube. Leave your comments below because I'll be looking through them and I'm going to pin the best one to the top. But as always, thank you guys so much for coming by today. Remember to come back tomorrow and every single weekday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because I'll have a brand new video for you. I'll see you then.